What's up, everybody? This is Robert Ferguson. You're a nutritionist, a guy who shares because he cares. Oh, and today is going to be another one of those moments where some people are going to have that light bulb come on, and they're going to go, "Oh, I get it now." So let me say I have one of my clients in Australia. I want to give a big shout out to Miss Cheryl. We'll talk a little bit about her. We're also going to talk about a diet that keeps showing up. It's called the blood type diet. That's what I'm going to call it right now. We're going to talk about the book. We're also going to talk about this movement that keeps showing up also around eating and living a life where you have more alkaline, you're more alkalinic than acidic. So we're going to talk about alkaline water. And with that, we got to talk about the diet because that's pretty popular. And then we're going to talk about something that's really controversial in a big way, and that is Weight Watchers. New name, WW. And then we're going to go wherever it goes. And then Lisa Marie, who I'll be bringing on here in a couple seconds or a minute, we're going to go to Telegram and have an open conversation. And we want to invite you to come over because it's really fun when, you can talk, we can talk, we can just have a town hall meeting, if you know what I mean. And that'll be fun. Now, before we get started with our time today, let me just remind you that we have provided links below for you to go straight to Telegram. You don't have to know much. As soon as you go there, you can just join if you don't have an account already. And then you'll see us under Diet Free Life, and we'll bring you on and you can be part of that conversation. So that's there. We also have the Gut Health Challenge, which we're on day 16. I'm in it. I'm enjoying it. It's going really, really well. I'm very, very happy that we put this together, and I'm watching some people get some results and they were stuck. So, man, the timing was great. So that's happening. And then you can reach out to me directly at dietfreelife.com, and you can contact Lisa Marie. Her website link is also provided. And if I'm missing anything else, I apologize. But it's time to get into this. So let me bring to the stage, out of the green room, the one and only. They call her Hammer Girl. I call her Lisa Marie. What's up?
Hi, Robert. How are you?
I am good. And Lisa, already we got Jerry is on. So what's up, Jerry? I'm glad you made it. You're here. Sandy's in the house. She says hi to both Robert and Lisa. Colleen, hey, she says hi. Darlene says hi to both of us. And I'm glad you guys made it. And Lisa, what's new with you?
Oh, well, just looking forward to tonight's call, dealing with some snow. It was nice to have some snow here in New York. And yeah, just doing my thing.
Ooh, I love snow. Like, I grew up in Indiana, and one of my childhood memories that I'll never forget was the big blizzard of 1978. Now, you probably weren't born then.
I was born. I was born in 76.
Okay, so you were 2 years old, so you could have experienced it.
Mm-hmm. I have
Yeah,
pictures
yeah.
of I have pictures of that snowstorm.
Yep, that was a real one. I remember like waking up in the morning. And for those who are listening, if you remember, if you were alive during the blizzard, the great blizzard of 1978, I remember waking up in the morning and we couldn't go outside because the snow had got up on the porch. It had climbed up so high, you couldn't open your door. You were stuck. People literally died. They froze to death, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. And I know Cindy remembers that. What's up, Cindy? Cindy is Colleen girl number one. So Cindy's great. She was in Indiana, so I know she remembers that. But all that being said, today we're going to talk about what you and I have talked about. But I wanted to talk about these diets, not to be mean and be negative, but to talk about these diets in a way to help people realize you don't want to just jump on what appears to be good for you. This is that critical thinking, right? It's like how do we get people to a point where they can be able to look at something and go, yeah, that's probably not a good thing to do,
Mm.
instead of getting on a diet that everybody's doing. And it's like being promoted everywhere. um and once you see a whole bunch of people doing a diet, then you go, I think I'm going to try that because they're doing it. And that's enough of if you will, credibility to make them go, if they're doing it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, how do you get to a place where you're not that easily influenced?
Well, that's why we have to inform the people.
Right. Okay. Well, the diet I'm referring to is Eat Right for Your Type. And when that diet came out, I remember it. I was in this business during that time. And my clients, of course, they would see it on TV and they would come in and go, hey, Eat Right. Have you heard about this? I think I may want to look into that. I'm like, you want to look into what? Well, I'm type O and it says that I should eat this and I should avoid certain foods. And that seems right to me. Well, you could do that anyway.
Mm.
Right? I mean, and then one would go, all right, if I'm type A, then I'm supposed to be more of a vegetarian. Okay. And what's interesting about that whole diet, because I wrote columns on this diet, I did reviews on it when it came out, because he took 4 blood types, right? And then he created 4 diets for a blood type, for each of those blood types. And people gravitated to it. It became a New York Times bestseller. People were losing weight. But what was crazy to me is how people couldn't see why they were able to lose weight.
Right.
It's like, I don't know, did I ever tell you the story about when I went to the barbershop? And when you're in a barbershop, and this is stereotypical, right? So I'm in the barbershop in the hood. That's where I go to get my hair cut. And in this barbershop, it was nothing but Black folks and Hispanic folks. And so I want you to just create your imagination of what you think it looks like. It's packed. Everybody's waiting to get their hair cut, and there's a whole bunch of people talking smack.
It
So
reminds
whether
me. It reminds me of that Eddie Murphy movie, Coming to
yes,
America. Okay.
yes, and that's a typical barbershop, right? So I'm
Mhm.
in the barbershop, and this guy named Smiley, that's his nickname. Smiley walks in, and he sees me, and he goes, and he calls me Ferg, right? So my name Ferguson Ferg. He goes, "Hey Ferg," I say, "Hey, what's up, Smiley?" He goes, and I'm sitting in the barber chair. He goes, "Man, I'm down 6 pounds, and it's been only a week." I'm like, "Wow, like what are you doing?" He says, "I'm doing this diet, man." I said, "I was watching this infomercial, and in this infomercial, it was like you could buy these teas, right? And I think it's called skinny tea." And he
Mhm.
goes, "I bought it and I've been following it. You have to drink tea like 3 times a day. And dude, I'm down 6 pounds. I feel great." And I said, "All right, well, what did that cost you?" He says, "About 120. I was $120. I go, "Okay. Now, is there any guidelines on how to eat?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You eat 3 meals a day, and you eat, primarily, chicken breast, turkey breasts, and vegetables." And I said, "Do you think that had anything to do with you losing weight?" And he goes, and everybody was like, a few people kind of giggled. He goes, "Nah, man, this is working for me." I go, "Okay." I said, "All right." I said, "I have an idea, you guys." And I got everybody in the barbershop. I got everybody's attention. And I said, "I have a new diet plan I'm going to start selling in about a month." And everybody's like, "Yeah, what is it?" I said, "Look, I'm going to match that price of $120. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Costco and I'm going to buy, how you have like bottled water? You can get like a whole bunch of them, like 30 of them, and they're all like wrapped up.
Mhm.
I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of those. I'm gonna cut the label off and put my own label on it. And I'm gonna call it True Water. Right? And what I'm gonna do is the plan is you got to drink one water a day for 30 days. And it's going to be flexible because you don't even got to do it in the morning. You can drink it whenever you want, but you got to get the water in at least once a day, and just stick to chicken breast, turkey breast, and vegetables. And I literally, Lisa, had people raise their hand and say, "Dude, let me know when it's available." Now, for those of you who heard me share that whole story, I mean, I'm not insulting anyone's intelligence. I would love for you to laugh or give me a LOL. So I know that you know or you get what was crazy about that situation. So, I mean, what do you think of that, Lisa? I mean, if you were with me in that barbershop and you watched those people say, "I will buy your new program," based on how I described it, what would you be thinking about those people?
Um, I would have been like, "Get the heck out of here with your true water." I don't unlike those people. It's just I don't know, they heard you describe that. They heard you say you were just gonna go take some water and put your name on it, and, like, where's where see, it like, people just wanna jump on whatever you got. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it's really sad. Well, that being said, I have a client who I talked to earlier today. She's in Australia, and I really want to get Diet Free Life going in Australia. Years ago, when my infomercial was like doing really well, I was on TV in Australia a lot, and I've met people who broker TV deals in Australia, and I just like Australia. So I have a client there who got in touch with me a couple years ago. It'll be 2 years in April, and she's down a significant amount of weight. Um, like she basically went from 200 pounds, which they're in kilograms, to like 145, and she's kept the weight off.
Awesome.
And why I'm bringing her up, one is to give her a shout out because she stayed the course, but two, I asked her today. I said, so her name is Cheryl. I said, Cheryl, like all these people that want to lose weight that are around you, aren't they asking you like what are you doing? And man, could that work for me? Like, are you getting any kind of interest? And she goes, Robert, it's really odd. It's weird. And I said, what's weird? She goes, they don't want to know.
Hmm.
But yet they still complain about wanting to lose weight, needing to lose weight. And she goes, it's the oddest thing because, like I was talking to one, she says, and the lady goes, I like food too much. I got to be able to eat foods I like. And then Cheryl goes, yeah, everything I eat, I like. You just learn how to eat foods in the right combinations, right?
Mhm.
And the woman, she said it was like a zombie. She just kind of tuned out.
I think people think they have to eat foods they don't like to lose weight. I don't know. Is that what it is?
I don't know. I mean, everyone, and maybe we'll get this when we go over to Telegram. But what do you guys post? Like, why is it that people are like this? Like, there's many people listening to us live right now who have lost weight,
Mhm.
right? Like, look at Cindy. I mean, Cindy lost a significant amount of weight, and she's walking around 120 something pounds, and she was up there. And I don't have her exact number, so I'm not gonna guess, but and she eats great. She can have wine, she can eat regular food, she can go to any restaurant. She's living it, but yet she experiences the same challenge, if we want to call it a challenge, that Cheryl is experiencing.
Mm.
I mean, even with you, when I guess if someone looks at you, I would go, okay, I can get why they would discount when you say you were pre-diabetic and you're not anymore, because they would look at you and go, they don't even believe you were pre-diabetic because you're what? You're probably under 120 pounds, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, now everybody hates you. Okay. But I mean, so you're up against that a lot. So how do you encourage people, or how do you talk to people when they look at you and go, yeah, but how are you were pre-diabetic? Like, they must
A
look
lot
at you.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that, right? Because I think, when people hear like pre-diabetes, right? Or even when you go to your doctor. So like even for me, when I went to my doctor, it's like, okay, work on your diet and exercise, right? And it's the same thing that, people who are overweight here, right? Work on your diet and exercise. Um, but I just had like a brain part.
That's
Yeah,
because
it's kind
you haven't eaten yet.
it's challenging. You know, because if people have this perception that like if you like diabetes and pre-diabetes is, around weight and I don't know what that perception is really, but I was at that time I was 108 pounds and I was pre-diabetic. I was doing all of the things that I thought I was supposed to be doing. Um,
Mm,
and I didn't, until I came across you and actually started following you, I was like, maybe I'm not really eating, maybe I could eat better. And because I didn't know what to change with my diet, right?
I
I
mean,
never had to diet per se. You know what I mean? Like I never had to
so weight was never an issue,
weight was never an issue for me. Um,
but you were interested in, like, improving how you ate, even though it wasn't trying to, like most people want to eat differently to lose weight. You wanted to eat differently to fill in the blank.
to reverse that pre-diabetes like that. I mean, I remember finding out that I had pre-diabetes and I was like crying and I was like, well, what do I do? And I didn't have the guidance. So, and that's why, like, I think I focus a lot with people who have diabetes or pre-diabetes, the diabetics. A lot of my clients are, are pre-diabetic or diabetic.
Mm.
Um,
Well, it's I don't know. Did you hear? I did a talk the other day. I shared a word called agnotology, and agnotology, in short, is a word that's like the opposite, or its definition is the opposite of the truth. So agnotology, and you guys remember this word. It's a good word to remember, even if it's just for yourself and you're not sharing. So agnotology. So whenever you see ology, that means the study of something, right? So agnotology is the science and study of ignorance. And every time I use the word ignorance, I feel bad. I feel like I'm saying stupid, but ignorance literally just means unaware. And with agnotology, it can be deliberate or it can be culturally induced ignorance. So, like in 1940 something, 1950, and some of you guys can let me know if you heard stories about this, but you would turn on the TV and there was ads saying, have a cigarette after you eat dinner to help with digestion. Have a cigarette if you're pregnant to help you relax. And women were literally smoking cigarettes while they were pregnant to help them relax. People smoke the cigarette, they help with digestion. This is what you saw on TV. This is what you saw in the ads. This is what was promoted. It was everywhere. And when you look at the data, we had over almost 50% of the adult population smoked cigarettes. I mean, I remember getting on a plane in the early 90s. Um, I was going to the Philippines. I'll never forget, because smoking was starting to get some momentum as far as being something you don't want to do. It wasn't good for your health because of the laws that had changed, but it was in the culture still. And I remember being on a plane, traveling on this plane for 13 hours, and there was a section on the plane where you smoke cigarettes. Like I actually am old enough to remember that. It's like, which is crazy. I mean, like before 9/11, there was a whole bunch of craziness that we look at as crazy today, but it wasn't back then because it was all part of agnotology. And the same thing, you guys, is happening to today. There's certain things that are just put out there into the culture, and they do it in a way that we gravitate to it. And then if you can get enough of the herd, meaning people, to buy into it, you create this momentum, and it keeps people stupid, and it also keeps us from not being as healthy as we can be in it, and it keeps us sick. I really believe that
Mhm.
that's part of how everything is supposed to work. It's like we're not supposed to be as healthy as Jack LaLanne or Bernardo, who lives to be 114 and never go to the doctor. We're supposed to be sick because that keeps the revenue and everything moving.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's a word I strongly recommend everybody know, because you will meet people. You may be married to someone who watch you lose weight, watch you improve your health, and they will not change the way they're eating. They don't even want to know. They don't even want to like listen to what you're saying when it comes to like, here's a fat burning meal. Sweetheart, this is how you make a fat burning meal. Let me show you. If you just did this, you can help your diabetes. I'm good. I got a plan.
Mhm.
Agnotology. That's how I look at people like that, because I watch them and I see them
Yeah.
all the time, right? Like, how can you have family members? Like, I bet you know someone, Lisa, that is pre-diabetic. You've told them about what you could do to help them, and they don't even want to like know about it.
Absolutely.
Agnotology. I mean, it helps when you actually have a word, right? Because part of the taxonomy of deliberate ignorance is, one, from a factual standpoint, some people don't want to believe that there's something different. Two, from an object standpoint, they don't want to even believe that it exists. There's a way that I could still eat like ribs. I can still eat pound cake. I can still eat regular food, some wings, and eat them in a way where I can be contributing to my health instead of taking away from it.
Mhm.
And from a technical standpoint, they don't want to learn how to do anything, because that takes humility, right? So that husband that a lot of you women would like them to get healthier, if I had to give you a short answer, they lack humility. And don't take that the wrong way and get mad and say, I don't want to. I'm just calling it what it is. Because when you're humble, you're willing to be a servant. You're willing to be a student. You're willing to like take a knee and bow and learn. And most people that I meet, especially men, they don't want to have to learn anything different than what they know. And the only time they're going to jump on something new is if they discover it, they bring it home, it's their idea. So you can tell me if I'm missing it, Lisa, and anybody else too. You guys, if I'm missing it, let me know. Tell me that your man ain't like that, because I'm telling you, I've been around athletes. I've been, my whole life. I'm around guys all the time. I talk to them. I'm telling you what I see. Help
Mhm.
me, Lisa. Help me.
I can't help you. Help me help you.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's get into this first diet. So the first one that I want to highlight, unless you have something you want to share about my little rant right there.
No, let's get into it.
Okay, so we're gonna play a little clip. I picked one of hundreds of doctors, and he's making a comment on the blood type diet. This guy is a world-renowned physician, scientist, New York Times best-selling guy. He has his own way of life, but it came to his attention, and instead of just Lisa and I share with you our views that this is a crazy diet, then let's take a look and see what some other people say. So I'm going to bring up, this is Dr. William Lee. Okay, let's listen in.
Hey there, Dr. Will Lee here, and I am here to talk about another myth about health, and this time including food, so we can actually try to clear up some of the misinformation that's out there. One of the myths that I'm going to talk about today is the blood type diet. Now, some of you may have heard about this, that depending on whether your blood type is O or A or B, that can dictate what kinds of food you should or shouldn't be eating. But here's the truth of the matter. All the research that's been done to date, from a medical perspective, has not shown any connection between the type of blood you have, which is due to the chromosomes that you inherit from your mom and dad, with any sensitivity to foods. So this is actually just not true. Some of the blood types diets say that if you have a certain kind of blood type, you should only eat meat. Others say that you shouldn't eat chicken. Others say that you should eat fruits and vegetables. Well, it turns out that there are the blood type diets that actually dictate that you eat mostly plant-based foods happen to actually be better for your health. And so people who actually espouse that type of diet are going to actually benefit. So here's what I want you to do. Next time you hear about any kind of extreme diet, like a blood type diet, where you actually have to embark on a specific thing based on the type of blood grouping that you actually have, just ignore it. Here's what I want you to do. Just go ahead and eat healthy foods that you enjoy, mostly plant-based foods, fruits and vegetables, nuts and legumes, healthy oils. Eat to actually enjoy your life. And that's the best way. If you can actually love your food to love your health, that will actually dispel things.
Well, I mean, I think he kind of summed it up, and I like he didn't get too scientific, and he just kind of kept it real.
Yeah, me too. I liked him.
So then it makes you wonder, okay, so if this diet is not good for us, well, one, in your opinion, Lisa, what would make a person see that and think, you know what, I'm going to get that book because that's a diet. It makes sense.
What do I, why do, I don't know. I think that, I don't know that I ever looked into that one. I've heard about it. I never looked into it. It doesn't, because maybe because it just doesn't make sense to me. I think it's interesting, right? Like I think people like learning a lot of things. I hear different conversations about DNA and blood types and things like that. So I think it's interesting. Um, but it's not I don't know. It's not it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, so for you it doesn't make sense. For me, it doesn't make sense. But it's a sign that is another illustration that people are looking for help.
Right. I agree with
And when certain things come across that seems new, all right, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it,
that.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to give it a shot. Maybe it's my blood type. They're not thinking about history.
Right.
How did people in 1400 know about a blood type?
Right. Well,
They
like,
they didn't
isn't
even know they had a type.
they didn't know what they had to type, and like when you read it, it's like it was based on when he believed that blood type was identified, like going back 25,000 years BC. Like I don't know. I mean, eating to your region and the food that's available makes more sense to me than a blood type diet.
Right. Well, so I'm gonna use Sandy for instance, because Sandy's very transparent. Sandy posts, she says, years ago I bought the book. Now, my ex-girlfriend bought the book. I have a lot of relatives that bought that book. I have talked to quite a few people that bought that book, to include Sandy.
Hmm.
And she says, years ago I bought the book. Uh, it taught me veggies only, or it pushed her to veggies only. And she was like, nope. But my thing, you guys, is you bought the book. So in order to understand how to help people and to help ourselves, we must always be clear on history, right? Because as the saying goes, if you don't know your history, history tends to repeat itself. And we see that with diets. New diet comes. Oh, what's that? Oh, that looks good, girl. Hey, you get one. I'm gonna do it too. Hey, let's do it. New diet, right? Keto was around for years, but then it came, oh, new diet, intermittent fasting. Oh, new diet. You see what I mean? Weight loss drugs, new diet. Years ago, there was fen. There was like these black beauties,
Don't they
right?
just change the name of some of them too? Isn't like keto more like didn't wasn't keto more like Atkins, then Atkins went away?
Not really. Like
Uh,
Atkins actually, my keto was like, think about this. Keto is designed around consuming 75% of your intake being fat.
oh, okay.
Okay, so think about that. 75% of that meal is fat. Then you're looking at maybe what, 20% protein and 5% carbs.
Mm,
So the only way you could really do that, right? Because cheese is fat and protein. So you can't just do that. You can't eat a steak because a steak is about 65% fat. And then you have protein. So I guess you could, but then there's no carbs and you got too much protein. The challenge of being able to do real scientific keto, I mean, people aren't doing that. People who say they're doing keto, they're actually doing low carb eating.
mm-hmm.
They're not doing keto. But you're right. Still, these things, it seems like it's the same thing, but with a different wrapper.
Mm-hmm.
There's some little nuances that are different with most of these diets, but it's the fascination that gets my attention on why we keep being attracted to something new. Why do I feel I need to try something new? Why, when I've actually had success?
Yeah. Well, because I think in like some cases people have success. Like I know that like with my clients and when I talk to them and they've tried all of the diets. They've done all different things. They've had success, they've lost weight, but then they gained it back. So and then we talk about, education and informing around food. Because a lot of times like I feel that like they're following a plan, um but once they come off of that they don't know how to eat. They've never been educated right on how to eat and how to do that for themselves.
No, I mean, you're killing it. That's really our marketing. And so I would encourage you and all coaches when you talk to people, the thing that's getting my attention right now, and as I'm working on our new website and getting it launched, you got to go through all of the paragraphs and all the content that you have, and you have to go, okay, man, we really just need to tell people, look, I'm going to show you, I'm going to teach you how to eat. And I would say 15 years ago, I wouldn't really say that because maybe it was me, but inside I felt like people don't want to be taught how to do anything.
Mhm.
They just want like the plan and go. And I still believe there's a lot of people that just want the plan and go. They don't want to learn.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's because of our upbringing that or our lack of humility that we feel like, I mean, I know how to eat. Who are you to tell me how to eat? Like I don't know where their head is, but the real truth is that we are actually teaching people, all of you guys who are listening, you've learned how to eat. And when we say that, because somebody can say, all right, so what do you mean by that? Well, we learn how to eat foods that we like, enjoy, and love. And we eat them in the right proportions and combinations. That's what people learn when they work with us.
Right.
And once they get that, they got it. Now, Colleen makes a good point, and thank you, Colleen. I'm glad you caught it. She says, people get bored and are always looking for something different. They are looking for the fountain of youth. I could do a 3-hour seminar on what Colleen just said.
Mm.
So let's go with they are looking for the fountain of youth. For everyone out there that wants the fountain of youth, I believe I know what it is. I know how to get them there. You ready, Lisa?
Yeah, let's hear it.
You got to make sure you get an adequate amount of protein in the morning as part of your breakfast.
Mm.
And you got to do things that are going to get those muscles engaged.
I was telling you earlier, after last week, I got a lot of messages. Everybody was getting their protein in less, the ones that were normally waiting and fasting or just didn't have time in the morning were sending me pictures of their protein within like the first hour of waking.
I mean, Don Layman, who we highlighted, this dude, and I'm aware of a whole bunch of them. I mean, I like to meet him in person. I've met him on a call kind of like this, but I would like to meet him in person and spend time with this guy because he really does have the secret. He has a big part of the secret.
Yeah,
And
that's
you know what I mean? And thank God for people like him who's done the work and they did it right where the scientific literature is clear. You
mhm.
can't debate it.
Yeah, that was a good interview.
And that's why Don, you never see him on in a conference or in a panel or a debate with vegans.
Yeah,
You're not gonna beat him.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that says it all. I mean, what else is there to say? Now, the other part of Colleen's comment, she says, people get bored and are always looking for something different.
Mm.
I've heard a lot of women say that, and they're married. I mean, hey, let's keep it real. So what does that mean? So you know how to eat, it's like, so just because you're bored and everything's predictable doesn't mean does that mean you just like I need to go meet somebody else?
Nope.
And Colleen, I'm trying to be funny, actually. So I hope you guys get that. I'm trying to add a little humor to what we're talking about. But with the way we eat, you can never get bored because you literally can eat everything.
Right.
Yeah. We just got to get more people to know. And Colleen made it very clear. Let me post. She says, Robert, I've been married for 50 years.
Congratulations, Colleen.
Now, Colleen's the real deal. I mean, she really is. She's the real deal. And I met her when I used to do all these seminars in the town she lives in. And I literally remember her. So when she reached out to me, and I get to work with Colleen right now, and she's wonderful to work with because she's into it. You know what I mean? Like she wants to know the truth. And for all of you guys who are clients and friends or family, and you're really interested and you're here, Lisa and I, I'm speaking for Lisa, but we appreciate you because we are so passionate about what we're doing that to work with someone who kind of like matches our passion because they're receiving. I mean, you guys make our day. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So we're going to leave that diet. I think everybody gets that. So let's touch on the alkaline. Then I'll have a couple words on Weight Watchers, and then we can go to Telegram. Is that a good plan?
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
So alkaline, you guys, this is going to be really quick, but I'm going to play a clip from Dr. Oz show. If you guys remember that guy, and there's a couple things that he says that stand out to me, which I'll bring up, but it's a nice little clip. So let's watch it because you'll see how a lot of people really found love with this whole way of this alkaline thing. Okay. So this is the alkaline diet, and then we'll touch on the water part. So check it out.
No secret, I have always been interested in your pee, but it seems like it's caught on in an entirely new way, a brand new trend. Over the summer, everybody was talking about the alkaline diet. And believe it or not, a lot of women on it are using the pea strips to track their progress. So check out all these headlines. These are all real, by the way. Unbelievable. You know, why all the cool kids are bringing pea strips to bars, the miracle cure alkaline diet was just another fad. So all these headlines got me thinking. So how does the alkaline diet work? Take a look.
It's the diet that broke the internet. Celebs swear by it, and now women everywhere are using the alkaline diet to shed pounds. The rules are simple. Do eat alkaline-friendly foods like fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Don't eat processed foods, meats, and refined sugar that cause your body to produce harmful acid, which is stored in fat cells, making you gain weight. The idea behind the diet? Certain foods can affect the pH of your body, and eating too many acid-forming foods is bad, overwhelming the body with acid and preventing you from losing weight. So, how do you measure your body's pH? Women on the alkaline diet now get together for so-called pee parties, where they use test strips to check the pH of their urine and, or so they believe, the pH of their whole body and their progress on the diet. Bravo star Chantel Fraser and her friends are alkaline diet devotees and frequent pee party hosts, touting the parties as fun and even addictive.
For me, it's changed my life. Since I started the alkaline diet, I've lost about 40 pounds. My friends and I are constantly competing to see who is the most alkaline. It started off as like a bit of healthy competition, but it's kind of become a bit of an obsession for me. If I'm at a bar, if I'm on a date, I'll test my date's alkaline levels. It's definitely something that's become a huge part of my life.
So what's the truth behind the trendy headlines? And is the alkaline diet right for you?
So today, I am weighing in. Is there really any value to knowing the pH of your pee, and does it even matter for weight loss? But first, let's have a little bit of fun here. I asked you all, the entire audience here, because it's not often that I have people come to my home, the studio, and do this, but I asked you all to pee on a strip. Did you all do it? Yeah. All right, so if you don't mind, pull out your strips. I've got mine here. I did the same. Show me your strips. Now shake the hand of the person next to you. Not that simple. One person, I gotta be honest here, one person didn't really understand the directions, they peed into the bag. They really did. They're not in the studio right now, I don't think. Or maybe they are and they'll come clean, figuratively speaking. All right, so everyone, look at this good color. So everyone look at your color. Let me hold them up, let me see here. So orange, or sort of red, that means that you're acidic. If you're sort of this neutral yellowish color, all of us are in that range here, a lot of yellows, you're sort of neutral, you're in the middle, right? But if you've got green, that means you're alkaline. So who's green? Oh, that's green. That's a really green color. Now compare that. Oh my goodness. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Wasn't saliva or anything, it was urine?
No, it was pink.
It was green. All right, and are you proud of your green color?
I don't know. I do this with my doctor.
You do?
Yeah, I have a diet doctor.
Oh,
he makes me do this.
And it works? Is it usually green like that?
I don't know. He usually yells at me.
Yes. Doctors do that a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
Why does he yell at you?
Because last time I was supposed to have like 80 points and I had 5.
That doesn't sound good.
It was like a holiday, so I had to celebrate the day before.
Yes,
I'm
right.
Italian.
Yes, it comes to the territory. All right. So according to the diet, you want this yellowish green color that you have, and thank you for showing it to us. And it means that you're sort of in the right spot. So sorry, you're good. Where's Karen? Okay. Yeah, he can hold my strip if you want. No. Karen, stand up if you don't mind. Karen, actually, you've been on the alkaline diet.
I have almost 2 years now.
Okay, may I see yours?
Yes, you may. I give it a B+.
So you decided to go on this alkaline diet.
Yes.
And do you do these little pea strips everywhere you go?
When I started, I did. And it's remarkable because it was very, as you had mentioned, it was very orange in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But then when I started to eat more wholesome foods, more foods that are alkaline, I became like, if I have wheatgrass shots in the morning, I will have a bright green pea strip.
So have you seen a medical benefit besides your urine changing its pH?
Absolutely.
What's
Absolutely.
going on?
Well, first of all, naturally, I actually lost some weight, which is always nice because so many of us want to look a little better. What I didn't realize, though, is that I feel so much better than I've ever felt.
Are you guys curious about this diet?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the deal. Let me speak honestly about this, because I see a lot of diets, my bottom line.
Totally.
I don't actually know if it's important that my pH becomes greenish, like our Italian friend over there, or not. I don't know, but I do like the fact that this diet's centered around healthy food. And, your pH may not make a difference, but being on healthy food actually probably does.
Yes.
So I say bag the strips, my personal belief, unless so they're sort of fun to have at parties, and focus your attention on heating the healthy alkaline
Yes,
foods. And if you're willing to
absolutely.
do this with me,
Yes.
when we come back, let's walk the audience. If you'll stick around.
I would love it.
All right, Karen's going to walk
That'd
you
be
through
great.
with me. I'll help a little bit. What you should do if you're going to stay on the alkaline diet. Be right back.
All right. Well, did you notice what he said toward the end, Lisa?
That he doesn't know if there's really any benefit to it, but you're eating healthy foods, so stick to that.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Now, for those of you who don't know how media works, media is designed around not offending people. So if he said, "Hey, you guys, I'm sorry to let you know, this is not real.
Mm-hmm.
What you urinate out has very little to do with what's taking place in your whole body." And so he can keep reserved what he believes by kind of saying it the way he said it. But when you consume foods, there's two things that I want everyone to remember for the rest of your life. And if you understand these basics of digestion and the biology of the human body, then you would know up front that the alkaline thing is not real. Now, someone could do the alkaline thing and they could lose weight and they can improve their health. Okay. But it's not because you're able to check your alkalinity. It has more to do with what you're not eating, which would be causing damage to your health, and what you are eating. So with the alkaline way of eating, you're avoiding all these highly processed foods. You're not eating candy. You're not eating chips. You're not eating donuts. You're not eating pizza. You're eating the way we teach people to eat. So should I say that Diet Free Life methodology is an alkaline way of eating? No, it would be a lie. But then when they bring in a test kit and you can actually test, then people get caught. It's like a magic trick.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the two things I want everyone to remember for the rest of their lives. Okay. So you have what we call like pH, which most of us get, of the stomach acid. It ranges between 1.5 and 2.5. You don't need to remember that, but that's just the foundation. Okay. Stomach acid is 100 million times more acidic than any alkaline meal you could eat. So again, your stomach acid, what's in your stomach right now, is 10 million times more acidic than any alkaline meal. So if you had a meal that has a pH of 9, which would be alkaline, you could eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Your stomach acid don't give 2 cents about that. It's 10 million times more acidic. So just using critical thinking, eating an alkaline meal, it ain't changing nothing. The second thing I want you to know, so the first one is stomach acid is 10 million times more acidic than any alkaline meal you can eat. So if you know that and you meet some crazy person, well, sorry, I don't mean to call them crazy, but you meet some uninformed or misinformed person who thinks alkaline is the way to go, and there's a lot of them out there, just have this and see if they can explain it. Say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but did you know that stomach acid is 10 million times more acidic than any alkaline meal that a person can eat? And see what they respond to with that. But pay real close attention. And then the second thing you want to tell them is stomach acid is 100 million times more acidic than any alkaline water you could drink. So people who are buying alkaline water and you're thinking that's like better for you, like there's pushback in the state of California to remove alkaline water because of all of the health challenges people have been experiencing that are drinking only alkaline. Like they're going above and beyond, Lisa. Like people are going extreme measures to drink alkaline because somewhere they believe that it would be helpful for them. And now the state of California has realized that a lot of people are being admitted to the hospital, and the common denominator is that they're drinking alkaline water instead of just regular water.
Wow.
But they drank the Kool-Aid. There is no setup. See, you have to. All right, so if you go back to the blood type diet, and you will get this, okay, 100%. You know this really well, and you'll know why when I say what I'm about to say. When a book comes out, you guys, and even though the book may have horrible things in it, it's not helping people. It falls under the First Amendment. And the First Amendment states, Congress shall make no law that conflicts or abridges the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is a law, whether you like it or not. So when someone writes a book, that's protected under the freedom of speech. The book could be horrible. It could be eat this, eat that. That's why these people are able to do this. But no one really talks about it. But it's protected by the freedom of speech.
Some good information there.
And I'm all about freedom. I believe everyone, I'm okay with people saying out loud whatever they believe. Doesn't mean I need to believe it. But
Right.
but when you I remember Einstein once said that his biggest concern would be the day that technology surpasses humanity. If you look at how food is manufactured and being delivered, it's totally surpassed the average human being, how they understand it or get it.
Mm-hmm.
AI 100% is what Einstein was talking about. So if we are not informed and know what is best for us, we will fall prey to those who are misinformed or just trying to make a buck.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
that's what I got to say, and I hope that was helpful to you guys. The last thing I would say is Weight Watchers. I was a fan of Weight Watchers because I was a fan of Gene Nidich, who founded Weight Watchers. And Weight Watchers has gone through many different evolutions. And today, Weight Watchers is selling weight loss drugs. So there's a part of me that says they just lied the whole time. And we know they didn't lie the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But why would a company go from being like we're a personal responsibility company, we're all about accountability, we're going to teach people how to eat, but you know what? It's 2024 and we're going to make a shift. We're going to start selling a weight loss drug. If you don't think this is a sign of the end of times, I mean, I don't
You know, like, did you see you that Tucker interview too, where they were talking about the Ozempic? I mean, if we're racist now too, isn't that what they said? Like, if the NAACP,
ACP, yes.
that if we talk about Ozempic in a bad way, like we're racist for doing that.
Yes. And
Crazy times.
it's all about it's all about polarization and getting people to look over here so they don't look over there.
Yeah.
Right? So when I see things going on with Taylor Swift, I'm serious. Anything that gets a lot of attention. I had a spiritual teacher years ago And I didn't even know what a spiritual teacher was, but I just happened to I had a martial arts school, and the kids, there was 2 kids and a wife, they were my students. And one day the wife came to me and she says, "Hey, my husband would like to meet you." So the first thing I was thinking is, I mean, these guys swingers, what's going on? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't think that at all. So I told her, I remember going, it was still a little odd, the whole situation. I was like, yeah, I would like to meet him too. So then, a couple days went by and she came to class and she said, "Are you available?" And she gave me some dates, and I got invited to go to dinner. And this guy was really like, I mean, I wish I could I don't even know where he's at now, but I felt like he really was a spiritual teacher. And this guy comes in with his wife and for dinner. His name is Larry Frack. And Larry, I mean, I hope he's alive today. This was some years ago. But Larry would drive like over an hour just to like spend time with this guy because it was his spiritual teacher. And so as I got to know who Larry was, Larry is the guy who built Magic Mountain, Six Flags. He's the guy who built a big part of Disneyland and Disney World. And he's a guy who built the Minnesota, like they have one of the biggest malls, America's Mall. He built that. And very successful financially guy. And so we're all there. And I'm like totally impressed with this. And the spiritual teacher, the first lesson he shared, he said that when the majority are going to the right, stop and pause. Because you may do better to go to the left.
Mm.
And I was like 22 or something, right? It's like, and I was just sitting there like, huh, that was interesting. And I was like, and then he went on and he was talking about how the majority are usually wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, so just, he didn't say critical thinking, but basically he was saying, make sure you have your critical thinking hat on and don't just run because everybody else is running that way.
Right.
And I see that with nutrition. I see that with Weight Watchers. I see that with these diet books. I see that with a lot of things. It's like the majority's running somewhere. So you guys don't just get caught up at the weight loss drug. Look around. Keep your eyes open because there's a reason why they want us to all focus there. One, they want to capture people. And two, don't put all your focus there. Keep your focus on you. Mm-hmm. And I think if we all do that, we'll all be in a better place as we work through this chaos that we're experiencing.
Amen.
So are we ready to go over to Telegram?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right, you guys, we're going over to Telegram. If you got time and you want to, wash your face, take your makeup off, take a quick shower while you listen to us on Telegram. We would love to have you. We're not going to stay long. We're going to make it a goal to stay for 30 minutes. How's that, Lisa?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So, and if you guys have things to share, we would love to have you come over and share. So go ahead. We made the link available. Any instructions you want to give them, Lisa?
Yeah, so when you click the link, if you're not already signed up on Telegram, just make an account. And then when you're on the Diet Free Life channel that's over there, you'll see at the top of the screen, you'll see a join button. You're just going to press that join button and we'll, that's where we'll have our little conversation.
That's right.
And everyone is muted, so you don't have to worry. If you don't want to talk, you don't have to talk. But if you do have a question, we can actually have an actual conversation as opposed to it being typed on the screen. So it's a lot of fun over there. You're muted, Robert.
Okay, sorry about that. So we're gonna go over to Telegram. I'm gonna play a little video, to segue out, and we'll be there in a couple seconds. So I'll see you over there, Lisa.
I'll see you there. Bye
All
bye,
right.
everyone.
Thank you very much. All right, you guys. I'll see you over in Telegram. Peace out.